COVID tore apart communities and communication, removing pillars in our community that we needed. Technology and politics have divided us as a nation, and people have been struggling to reconnect. It's time to remember what we share in common and celebrate our journey through life, 2 wheels at a time. So we, the Biker Lawyers, have created this weekly show to help all our fellow bikers find events, businesses, parties, community, and legal insights. Welcome to the Biker Rebellion. I'm your host, Ginger, here with Pete Leheey, founder of the Biker Lawyers. Now let's kick things off by going through this week's rundown, starting with the biker events in Iowa. Alrighty, starting on May 3rd and running through the 4th, check out the Vintage Torque Fest at the Dubuque County Fairgrounds in Dubuque, Iowa. Not only is this a motorcycle and classic car show, the Vintage Torque Fest is also a swap meet, providing the perfect opportunity to get your hands on those hard-to-find parts for your vintage biker car. This event features live music, mini bike races, dirt drag racing, demo derby, and the list goes on, so you know there's something for everyone. And let's not forget the event raises money for kids with congenital heart defects. So let's bring the family and kick off the weekend with supporting your fellow Iowans while having a blast. For our friends up north, visit Dan in Princeton, Minnesota, where he'll be hanging out at the Dirty Rotten Biker Fest all weekend long. Gates open at 11 a.m. this Saturday with a bike show kicking things off till 3 p.m. With great live music, food, tons to do, this promises to be one hell of an event, so make sure to pick up your event schedule at the gate, then swing by the Biker Lawyers table to say hi and grab your free lighters, koozies, and kickstand pucks. If you're looking for something else along the Eastern Corridor in Iowa on May 4th, Pete and I will be at the 18th Annual Chrome Divas of Cedar Rapids Ride, supporting the community as we honor sisters on the road. Otherwise, if you're looking for your annual bike blessing, there will be 3 happening this weekend. Blessing of the Bikes will take place in Burlington at Crapo Park, Newton at the American Legion at 10 a.m., as well as the Grotto of Redemption in West Bend, Iowa at 1 p.m. Also on the 4th, if you're looking to participate in a charitable fun run, the 4th Annual Iowa Paralyzed Veterans Poker Run over in Donaldson, Iowa starts with a sign-in at 9 a.m. and kickstands up at 11 a.m. There's also the 13th Annual Sleeping Angels Fun Run in Boone, bright and early at 8 a.m. Finally, celebrate Cinco de Mayo in style on May 5th at the Cinco de Mayo Bike Night at McGrath Harley-Davidson in Coralville, Iowa, where the festivities start at 5 p.m. Or if you missed the swap meet at Vintage Torque Fest at the beginning of the weekend, swing by the 40th Annual Spring Auto/Motorcycle Swap Meet in Monticello, Iowa to grab those parts you're missing. You'll have plenty of time to look around the fairground parking lot as this event rolls from 7:30 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. And that'll wrap things up for biker events this weekend. If you have any events you'd like featured, comment below and let us know where you're riding. Now let's turn to our mailbag and see what questions we received this past week. The first question for Pete comes from a request we received on Quora. It says, I was sued yesterday for an at-fault accident for $100,000. Today, I withdrew $98,000 from my savings account and put it in a safe area. I closed my bank account and I have no other assets. Was this a brilliant idea or did I just fuck up?
Well, it's definitely not a brilliant idea, and I would say you haven't fucked up yet. The way you're asking the question, I'm assuming that there's either no insurance or not nearly enough insurance, because otherwise you'd have no reason to be trying to hide anything. But the bottom line is, in most cases, for example, that I handle, if the person that caused the crash doesn't have enough insurance, I require that they give us a financial statement so we can decide whether it would be worthwhile to pursue them for an additional recovery. And a part of that financial statement requires them to certify any assets that they've transferred in the last 3 to 5 years. So if you have transferred $98,000 out of your checking account to hide it, and then you lie on the financial statement, the case settles in reliance on the financial statement, yeah, now you've probably fucked up because you've committed fraud. And fraud is a whole different animal. You're going to have all kinds of additional problems, and you're probably going to lose your $98,000 over that one.
Fair. Now let's turn to the next question. Should I say this phrase when a cop asks me if he can search my car? I was told that if a cop asks to search my car, I should say, I do not consent to any searches, and I do not consent to being detained longer than is reasonably necessary to issue a citation. Now, I'm curious about the citation part. Why is that important?
Well, number one, if a cop asks me if he can search my car, my saddlebags, I'm simply going to say, I do not consent. The line about I don't consent to being detained here any longer than it takes to write a citation, I wouldn't say that. I think that's premature at that point. I mean, the cop's either going to write you a citation or not. The law generally provides that they can't detain you more than 10 minutes for a routine traffic stop. So in my opinion, the best way to approach this is to just take it one question at a time. And the question that's on the table is, do you mind if I search your car? And you just simply need to say, I do not consent, and leave it at that.
Fair. Fair. Okay, here's one from our Facebook audience. A dump truck mistakenly dumped a pile of gravel in my yard. Now, they refused to remove it and they are demanding payment for it. I did not ask for the gravel. My yard is unusable now and they're becoming belligerent. What do I do?
So I guess I'm not necessarily surprised that a dump truck would accidentally dump gravel in the wrong place, but it's kind of stunning that they would then try to collect from the person who they wrongfully dumped a big pile of gravel on. So at this point, that person needs to talk to a lawyer, the person that got the gravel dumped, let them know what happened, because clearly the company that did this is liable for any damages they've caused by dumping that gravel on the yard. I mean, I'd be pissed if somebody dumped a dump truck of gravel on my yard and they would have to pay to restore my yard to what it was before they made that mistake. So the right thing to do is contact a lawyer.
Now, let's say that, some kids are wandering around, maybe they're throwing gravel at each other, maybe they just wipe out with their bikes or something. Who's liable for the damage in that scenario?
I'm going to say the company that wrongfully put the gravel there.
Okay.
I mean, you as the landowner didn't ask for it.
Sure.
You're trying to get rid of it by having the company that dumped the gravel there do the right thing. And the longer that company doesn't do the right thing, then if somebody's going to be on the hook, it's going to be them, not you.
Fair. All right, Pete. Final question of the day. There's a crash. It takes place right next to my car, and I got some damage from it. Someone hit a car from behind, which then caused it to hit my vehicle from the left rear bumper. Do I call the insurance of the guy who hit me or the one who caused the initial crash?
That would be the guy that caused the crash. I mean, the dude in the middle car did everything that he should do. He got stopped safely. It's the guy that's behind him that hits him and propels him into you that's responsible for this. So it's the insurance company for the guy that caused the vehicle behind you to get propelled into your vehicle.
Now, let's say that, I'm injured in this too. Not just the car is damaged, I'm damaged, right? Who do I reach out to in that scenario?
Same answer. It's the insurance company for the driver that initiated the collision. And if the insurance company for that driver doesn't satisfy you, and I've seen this scenario, and they never have, then it's time to call a lawyer.
Gotcha. Thank you. If you've got any legal questions, be sure to email us at jonathan@thebikerlawyers.com. You're going to see that scrolling across the screen right now, and you just might find the answer next week. And that'll bring us to our final segment, Biker Businesses. This week, we're featuring F&J Racing in Marshalltown, Iowa. The owners, Fred and Jackie, have been a part of the biker community for nearly 50 years. They started Marshalltown's famous Blessing of the Bikes, an annual gathering known to bring hundreds of riders from across the state, like many other bike nights, while donating every dime back to local causes. From tune-up and repairs to custom builds, F&J Racing is a must-stop for any biker in the area who wants to give their ride a little special attention. Fred has built a reputation of knowing every inch of a combustion engine, modifying and racing motorcycles, while building custom bikes from the ground up. So the next time you find yourself on Highway 14 cruising through Marshalltown, make sure to stop by F&J Racing, say hi, and tell them the Biker Lawyer sent you. Now, comment below and let us know your favorite biker businesses, and they may get featured here next week. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end and supporting the Biker Rebellion. Speak truth to power, rebels.